Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Warren with unashamedofjesus.org. And today we're going to take a look at this article that came across my feed. I'll put a link of the article in the description of the video. Breakaway groups, they're calling them. These are churches who have broken away from the United Methodist because of their their abandonment of the Bible, their abandonment of Orthodox Christianity, their heresy that they are promoting and teaching now in the UMC. And so they're labeled them as breakaway groups. Okay. And so what's going on is these breakaway churches are being advised by lawyers to just abandon their buildings because the UMC has a whole group of they spend all your tithe money on this powerful team of lawyers that will tie up everything in court to crush the small local churches. That's basically what they're doing. So the small local churches, what they're doing is just abandoning their buildings. Okay. And so this has been the strategy. And so then what the UMC has been doing is they've been sweeping in with their powerful team of lawyers, and they've been seizing the property so they can resell the property not as churches but as real estate to make more money. And this has been the business of the UMC. UMC is has collapsed from within because as you go woke, you go broke. But the UMC now is in the real estate business where they're basically essentially stealing property from local churches and then reselling them at an astronomical price. So let's take a look at this article that just came out today. United Methodists take back property from their team of lawyers as breakaway group. They don't even call them churches, breakaway groups. Right? These are Christians who are being faithful to the word. They're being faithful to their Lord and they are not compromising. So here's an example of Warrington Church, which is in Pensacola, Florida, I'm going to believe. United Methodist has regained control of now empty building as a breakaway congregation in Pensacola has moved to a storefront and has turned control over to a 300 seat sanctuary. So this is a pretty large building. And as you see, the congregation basically just abandoned the building. And so 4 years ago, 80 members of the Warrington United Methodist Church voted to leave the denomination. Okay. They voted as a local church to leave the denomination. The pastor, Ted Johnson, a former UMC minister who is now, like the congregation, affiliated with the Association of Independent Methodists. So they have left the UMC by vote, by unanimous vote. It was a unanimous thing, it says here, by the pastor. It was everybody in our congregation. So everybody in the congregation agreed to leave the UMC based on their liberalism. Okay, so but the conference, the UMC conference announced this month, it is taking back control of the property. It is crediting their legal team. Okay, they didn't credit God. Notice that they're not crediting Jesus. All right, they're crediting their legal team, which is all the money that you who are still deceived, you who are still in the UMC giving your tithe money every week, your money's going to this team of lawyers that is stealing property from Christians. That is essentially what's happening. And this is not the only one. This has been fighting in court against dozens of breakaway congregations. All right, dozens of churches. Okay, the UMC, and this is just one conference. All right, this is not all the UMC. This is just one area, Florida, Alabama area, that they are stealing dozens of church buildings from Christians, from brothers and sisters in the Lord. So much for Big Tent, right? The Board of Trustees in the Alabama West Conference of the United Methodist Church is pleased. They are pleased with themselves. They think this is wonderful to steal property from Christians and have no place for them to worship. They are pleased with this. They announced they have successfully regained possession of Warrington United Methodist Church property located in Pensacola, Florida. This resolution comes out of the period of unauthorized actions taken by the pastor and the members of the congregation who attempted to separate. How dare they, right? Unauthorized. So I want you to see this. I want you to understand this is that the UMC, if a local church, okay, does not want to go along with the liberal wokeness, the antichrist doctrine that is being pushed by the conference, by the UMC, then they will declare this church to be illegal, unauthorized, and they will just get their team of lawyers and steal your property. Wake up, people. This has been going on for years, right? 2021. Okay, this has been going on. The UMC says the congregation left improperly. Okay. But what does the church have to say? The congregation moved to a storefront about 3 miles away. They put a lot of money into this facility, noting that it burned in 1968 and suffered hurricane damage multiple times, which isn't surprising. It's in Florida. Okay, here's where the problem is. I want you to understand this. This is what the pastor said. We do not have the money to fight, to invest in a court system. So we went with the best advice to walk away. So you might be saying, well, why doesn't this church just fight for their property? Because they can't afford it. Okay. And the UMC knows this. The UMC knows the local churches don't have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight their big team of lawyers in court. They know this. So what do? They do what all corporations do. They will crush you in court with their team of lawyers, which is being paid for by your tithe money. Your tithe money is paying for this team of lawyers that is persecuting Christians. Understand this. I want you to understand that. Your tithe money is blood money that is persecuting your own brothers and sisters in the Lord. Understand that. The Alabama West Florida Conference legal team didn't win a court battle in this case. Okay, this is the truth. Okay, the UMC wants to declare victory, but they didn't actually ever win. It was the church gave it to them, right? The local church gave the property over to them because they can't afford to fight them. Okay, you understand what's going on here, people? Do we see the corruption? Unlike other congregations that file lawsuits arguing their property was owned by the congregation and not owned by the conference, the Warrington's Breakaway members never disputed the denomination's trust clause that says they own the property. Okay. So the bottom line is that they could not afford to fight this in battle. Okay. Now, you might say, well, what is the UMC going to do with this property? Well, here it is right here. Look at this. Johnson says he expects the conference, the UMC, will take the former church building, the former Warrington UMC church, and sell it for more than it's worth as a church, potentially $800,000. Okay, so I want you to understand that. Do you understand what's going on? So the UMC is seizing control of local church buildings, kicking Christians out on the street. They don't care about your soul. They don't care about your families. They don't care if you have anywhere to worship. And they're going to take that property. They're not going to start up another UMC church because, first of all, they don't have any people. All right. Nobody cares about the liberal UMC. This is how they're funding this woke organization. Now they're going to flip the property for $800,000. I mean, do you see the corruption? Do you see the scheme that's going on here? The UMC isn't a Christian church or organization. The UMC now is a real estate company. They don't care whether you are a Christian. They don't care whether you don't have a building to worship in. They don't care if you have a pastor. They don't care about any of that stuff. They don't care about your soul. They want your property because they are going to flip it and make a huge sum of money so they can pay all their woke, corrupted leaders up at the top, all the bishops, all the pastors that are in on it, all the district superintendents. They're all making six-figure salaries off of your tithe money, your blood money. Here it is. So this has been going on for years, folks. Wake up. I'll put the article in the description of the video. Let me know what you think. Continue to like and subscribe and share and expose the darkness. God bless.